This is old news by now, but it's an interesting story and I wanted to talk about it. This whole situation really shook me. So my favorite band ever of all time is Led Zeppelin, and as of recently they were taken to court and sued over the song Stairway to Heaven. Now, Led Zeppelin is no stranger to lawsuits and has been in trouble before by covering songs without artists' permission. They've had good times, bad times, but this situation is completely different. So basically what happened is this. Some prick-off lawyer representing the estate of the deceased frontman of the band Spirit was looking for some fast cash and decided to sue another band for copyright infringement because they used the same very common chord progression Spirit once used in their song Taurus. Of course he wanted as much money as possible, so he needed a good target. Who's the biggest, most successful, and definitely the wealthiest of all the bands that have ever used this chord progression? Led Zeppelin. So everyone was hauled into court and the trial began. Of course everyone knew from the start how this was all going to end. You can't take on the biggest band of all time without expecting to have your face smashed in as if you went in through the outdoor. I heard that they actually had a tough time trying to find unbiased jury members. Let's face it, they would have held no quarter. They all love Zepp, as they should. Apparently when Jimmy Page took the stand, there was an audible gasp from the audience. To be in the presence of such a man, I'm not surprised they were in awe. Page is practically a god, and Robert Plant, as described by the rock critic Crusher, is perhaps one of the finest men to ever draw breath. So the trial. What's all the fuss? Well, the plaintiff was suing because of the similarities between the songs Taurus and Stairway to Heaven. This pisses me off because there are so many songs that have similarities, and a lot of times they happen without the artists even realizing it. It's a subconscious thing. I mean, how many more times has this happened? Think about it. Why don't we compare Stairway and Taurus to hear exactly why this is supposedly an issue? Oh, come on! You're suing over that? Give me a friggin' break, people! Are they similar? Yeah. Are they the same? No. You must be nuts if you think you can sue over something this inconsequential. Ooh, hot dog, 3 out of the 5 notes match. We really got him swinging from the gallows pole now, don't we? As a matter of fact, why don't all electronic dance music composers sue each other? All of that crap sure as hell sounds the same. Pretty much every EDM hit is a copy and paste of the previous one. Another thing, Stairway uses this progression for the first few verses, building upon it with other chord arrangements, then moves on. Taurus uses the first 4 notes from the progression 4 times in the song, twice in the beginning and twice in the end, both times followed by another lick, totally unlike anything else in Stairway, and this lasts for 2.5 minutes. The whole song is 2.5 minutes long. Far cry from Stairway's 8 minutes. The only similarity Taurus has to Stairway is 4 notes that repeat for a total of 56 seconds. Wow! In my time of dying, I would have never thought this was such a big deal. You could have a better case claiming when Stairway's played backwards, it contains a message to the devil. The bottom line is, you can't sue over a chord progression. Arpeggios are not patentable. You can't claim ownership of such a common device used in music. That's like somebody trying to copyright this hand gesture and claim that they invented it. What kind of a person would do that? And this particular chord progression isn't just found in these 2 songs. Here's a list of songs that use it, and yes, when you hear them, you will think of Stairway to Heaven. But that's because it's the most well-known out of all the songs on this list. But you want to know the kicker to the whole thing? This chord progression was used by the classical composer Bach 300 years ago. That's how common it is. You know, aside from the sheer absurdity of this trial, one of the biggest problems is that it taints the reputation of Spirit, making them seem petty and frankly stupid for having such a nerve. But it's not Spirit. It's not the band at all that decided to do this. It's some douchebag lawyer who took it upon himself to speak on behalf of Spirit. And because of that, the band will forever have a dark cloud hanging over it. So anyways, Led Zeppelin won, obviously. I think the judge called the plaintiff a tool and the jury laughed in his face while Celebration Day blasted proudly in the background. And in the end, nothing changed for Stairway to Heaven. The song remains the same. Case closed.